Every now and then, a story pops up in the NFL that it doesn't quite make sense. A rookie season so full of contradictions, it almost sounds like a riddle. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. The absolutely wild story of Shedeur Sanders. Just let that sit there for a second. A 5th-round pick and a Pro Bowler. Those two things almost never, ever go together in the same sense, especially when you're talking about a rookie quarterback. So the question is, how in the world did this happen? To really wrap your head around just how much of a long shot this was, we've got to go all the way back to the beginning, back to the NFL draft, where the expectations for Sanders were, let's just say, not exactly through the roof. So for anyone who isn't a total draft junkie, being a 5th-round pick basically means the whole league has sized you up and said, yeah, you've got some talent, but you're a project. We're talking hundreds of players getting picked before you. Finding a superstar this late is like finding a needle in a haystack. And get this, to make it even crazier, Sanders wasn't just a late-round guy. He wasn't even the first quarterback his own team, the Cleveland Browns, decided to draft. Nope, they took Dylan Gabriel 2 entire rounds earlier. That move basically screamed to the world that Sanders was, at best, a backup plan's backup plan. And here's the part that really makes you scratch your head. This isn't some guy who came out of nowhere. We're talking about the son of a Hall of Famer, Deion Sanders, a guy who was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. He was a legit star at Colorado. And yet, he starts his NFL career on the inactive list as the emergency 3rd-string quarterback. The pieces of the puzzle just didn't seem to fit together at all. All right, let's get into what actually happened when he got on the field, because this is where the story gets even more confusing. It was a complete and total roller coaster, some incredible highs and, well, some pretty shocking lows. And man, what a high it was. In his very first start, all the way in Week 12, he leads the Browns to a victory. This wasn't just any old win either. He was the first Browns quarterback to win his debut since 1995. You can't make this stuff up. The hype was electric. It really felt like we were watching the start of an amazing underdog story. But then, reality came crashing down, and it came down hard. From that amazing first game to the end of the season, just 8 weeks, Sanders threw 10 interceptions. That wasn't just a lot. It was the most of any quarterback in the entire league during that time. Ouch. And this chart really just lays out the paradox perfectly. You look at his final stats for the season, a losing record as a starter, more interceptions than touchdowns, and a completion percentage that's, not great. These are just not the kind of numbers you'd expect from a guy about to get a huge honor. Okay, but to be fair, you have to look at the situation he was in. He was pressured on 51% of his dropbacks. Can you even imagine that? More than half the time he dropped back to pass, somebody was right in his face. No other quarterback in the league had to deal with that kind of relentless pressure. And here is the final mind-bending twist to this whole thing. You'd think, with all that pressure, teams were just blitzing him like crazy, right? Sending extra guys all the time? Nope, wrong. He was actually blitzed at one of the lowest rates in the NFL. That means all that pressure was coming from just the standard defensive line. It was just a really, really tough spot for any quarterback, let alone some 5th-round rookie. So, you've got this incredibly messy, up-and-down rookie year. A couple of really bright spots, some seriously worrying stats, and a brutal environment to play in. So how in the world does that lead to a Pro Bowl selection? Well, the answer isn't just about what happened on the field. Well, here's how the dominoes fell. The original guys picked for the Pro Bowl were Allen, Herbert, and Drake Maye. But then, Maye's team goes all the way to the Super Bowl, so he can't play. A spot opens up, and guess who gets the call? Shedeur Sanders. Now you have to remember, the Pro Bowl is heavily influenced by fan voting. And with a legendary last name and a massive fan base from his Colorado days, Sanders had a huge public profile, which no doubt made him a top choice when they needed an alternate. And let's just be crystal clear about how rare this is. He is the first rookie picked in the 5th round to get this honor since the incredible Puka Nacua. So no matter how it happened, his name is now in a pretty exclusive club. It's an official accomplishment that says a lot about his toughness on the field and his massive popularity off of it. So, he's officially a Pro Bowler. That's on his resume forever. But what does it actually mean for his future? Well, if his rookie season was a paradox, his future with the Browns might be an even bigger mystery. There are just so many question marks here. The team's huge investment, Deshaun Watson, is supposed to be the starter next year. The Browns are also bringing in a new coach who's going to have his own ideas for the team. So, where does that leave Sanders?
Was this Pro Bowl thing just a weird fluke, a product of strange circumstances? Or was it a real sign of his potential, a glimpse of what he could be?
At the end of the day, that is the million-dollar question. He finishes his rookie year as both a statistical project and an official Pro Bowler. It is one of the strangest, most confusing resumes for a young quarterback that I can remember seeing in a long, long time. And what happens next? Honestly, your guess is as good as mine.